For the month of March, we are going to be making magazine beaded bracelets. The first step that we're going to do is we are going to line up our ruler to the left side of the paper. With a dark marker or a pen, go ahead and make a vertical line going all the way up. Continue this process all the way to the right side. It's really important that you make sure that all of your lines are about a ruler thick. This is to make sure that our beads are no longer than an inch. Just so we don't have bulky beads on our wrist, we want to make it as comfortable as possible, and we want to make sure that we have proper movement when we're wearing our beads. Alright, so I'm going to continue all the way over, and I'm going to do this to all of my sheets that I have. But right now, I'm only going to be working on this one paper right here. Okay, I'm going to continue all the way over because I have room for one more space. Now that I have all of my lines drawn, I'm going to demonstrate with 2 strips. So what I'm going to do now is with my scissors, I'm going to cut 2 strips out right on the black line, going all the way up. Okay, there's my first strip. And it's also really important to be extra careful when cutting this paper because magazine paper is really thin and the strongest grip could tear your paper to the point where you wouldn't be able to use it anymore. And I also chose 3 papers, full colored, full picture, neutral colors, so I can have a neutral colored bracelet. For an example, this one right here is all black with a little red. This one I made from, I think it was an atlas. This one is all white with 1 green bead that I used a marker on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this aside just to demonstrate how to actually make the bead. There are different ways to make different types of beads. I will go ahead and post that in the video as well. This is to make just a plain bulky bead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over because the color of my bead that I want is going to be this green shade here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and roll my bead nice and tight, but not too tight because I am going to, at the end, string a wire in between my beads. So you want to make sure that the hole is small, but not too small that we can't fit a wire in between. This also depends on how thick you want your beads, and I personally am not a fan of thick beads because you will have uncomfortable movement on your wrist. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm pinching the sides to make sure that there isn't any excess falling out, making it nice and tight, rolling all the way up. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up, squeeze the sides, keep rolling tight. But at the end, I'm going to make sure I leave a piece of the strip hanging out of my bead so I can glue it down and it stays in place. Okay. So I have enough of my strip left over. I'm going to go ahead and take my glue. You are going to get glue on your fingers. That's okay. Glue comes right off. We can just peel it. Not too much glue, but just enough that this little piece of the page will stick. Might be hard to see my glue, but I'm not dumping a whole bunch on here. I'm just dabbing it. Go ahead and put my stick down. And this is the part where you probably are going to get glue on your fingers, but like I said, it's okay. We can just wash it off, or it will just peel right off. So no worries about that. Okay. I'm going to keep rolling nice and tight, just all the way around to make sure that my glue is going to stick. And then here is my first bead. Now, it's really important that you keep one strip aside that we are not going to turn into a bead. This strip right here is going to demonstrate how many beads we're going to need to fit our wrist. For an example, my bracelet here, it's really small, will not fit my hand. That's because I didn't use this method. Just to explain the process here. Go ahead and take that first strip that you cut out. You're going to wrap it around your wrist, and where one end of your strip meets the other, go ahead and leave a little room. You can try to fit your finger right under. Just like that. Where the strip is meeting the other side, go ahead and mark your thumb there. Hold it. And you're going to cut the strip right where you just had your thumb. And now, the longest part of your strip is going to tell you how many beads you need to fit on your bracelet. So what we're going to do, and like I said, there's different cuts to beads to make different shapes. This one right here is from a broken bracelet that a student pulled, but it's fine. I can just restring it. All that's really important is the beads that I'm going to show you right now. There are different shapes of beads that we can make. For an example, this one is a long, slim vase. This one right here looks similar to a dumbbell. And this one here is thick in the middle and slim on the sides. You're going to go ahead and continue making your beads. Continue stripping your pages until you reach the top of your first strip. The bulkier beads that you make, the quicker you're going to finish. But you might not be a fan of bulky beads because, like I said, it'll almost be uncomfortable on your wrist. Hopefully you can't hear the chaos in the hallway. But yeah, these are just leftover beads that I have here. Once you reach the top, oh, sorry, you can't even see it. Once you reach the top is when you know that you're all done with your beads. This is part one. Part two, we're going to string the bead.